here I am, and I'm down to take a stand. So let me know if you think I should stay or I should go. I see silhouettes of who we used to be. I'm at a loss for what to do, but stare back at the ghost of you. Is it me, or have things really changed? It's not like they'd always stay the same. Things always change. Now I'm lost in all these memories. All that's left of who we used to be. Who we used to be. But it's not easy to be on your own. It's not easy, but you're not alone.
Continue.
I found the lists. They're fucking
You found the
great.
list? I
I
actually
can
had a
fuck up.
concrete list. I would, after every session, I would
Oh.
chat with people from different campaigns and tell what Tommy fucked up. And I had one per session at the very least. And it's been 17 sessions.
The shooting
Wow.
at flammable Chulgu was actually not on your list. It's on your contenders.
That
Yes,
didn't
so
make
many.
the top, eh? Wow.
Yeah. The sword in session 1 is probably one of my favorites.
The sword in
that?
session 1.
The first time we met, so the beginning of the campaign was a flash flood, and we're all like in on our own doing stuff. And one of our players, the druid, rolled. I don't know. He rolled like a survival check or something. It got really bad, and so his character was like panicking. He was just like yelling. So my character has a hero complex, which
Like
yeah.
wailing.
Anyway.
Not like yelling, like
Yeah,
wailing.
he was wailing. Anyway, so both me and the barbarian were trying to save him, and I had like stuck my sword in the top of a hill and tied a rope to it, and then I'd gone down with the rope like tied to me, and I was gonna help them I was trying to like help them get up it, and fucking Tommy is like, oh, a sword. Oh no, I'm gonna pull it out and help them. He's
A negative
warlock.
1 strength.
Halfling. So that didn't work.
Right. So, okay.
And that was the
yeah,
first time we met him.
Yep.
That was
And
when
you guys-
you first met him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first session. You guys were like, you're trying to kill us, and now it's only gotten worse.
Yeah. It was really, really well put off. It really set the tone.
Honestly, red
Tommy.
flags. You should have seen it from the session 1, and then it just it just came
Yeah.
worse.
He sounds like my
Mhm.
cousin's character. He always would make a character that would just mess with things.
See,
Yeah.
the thing about this, I don't think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I think this is just him.
It's so funny because the thing is, a lot of the time he thinks he's doing something extremely helpful, but it's
But is he
not.
role playing that or not?
I don't know.
I don't know
It's so
either.
hard to tell.
I don't know if my cousin's trying to be like class clown type guy too, because he'll like make characters like Captain Sammy, who is this like halfling who thinks he's the captain of this sky ship, but he's not. So he would just keep trying to like take charge, but he doesn't really know anything. So stuff like that, or they got so frustrated with his antics that they keeled hauled him behind a spelljammer ship. Like, so he's like hung on a rope, and he's sort of like going in and out of the part of the air bubble where you can breathe or not breathe.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
Keel. But then he grabbed like a piece of wood or something, and he started like basically surfing doing it. He would never like let anything get him down. But or you made another character called Marley. That was this wizard from the Rastafarian Islands.
Rastafarian.
And he had they were kind of reasonably low level, and he was being like he'd been grabbed by this treant, and the treant was holding him like one of each of his arms in its arms, and it was staring at him, and it was angry. He said, "Hey man, I spoke some of your brothers, man." So it ripped him in half.
Jesus
It's like
Christ.
you just
I don't. The thing is, I
you
don't think
know
Tommy.
what to... He got
Nothing
regenerated.
he does
but
is malicious.
I don't think he meant that to be a joke.
Just stupid.
Like, I don't think he meant it to be insulting to the treant. He just didn't really understand what treants are. But
I just found one of my favorite Tommy fuck-ups, not in the top 5, but deeply funny to me, which was he found a necromantic candle and instantly fed it his blood. Like, no hesitation.
see, now come on. He
And it
has
was
to
like,
know something
bro.
about that. Like, how
Like,
did he even
it
know
was-
to do that?
So
Well,
they found
I
the
mean-
candle in a pool of dried blood, and it had a
He
pink.
did. He was
color.
alone, which
He
was
was
the
alone.
problem.
Yeah.
No adult
'cause he-
supervision.
He pissed off a revenant. So keep in mind this session was one of his top most fuck ups per session, by the way, because he pissed off a revenant. And normally revenants can't get really that angry, but he got in the way of a
He's
revenant
just
trying
so
to
annoying.
Get his revenge quest thing.
Yeah. So Tommy just kept staring at him and getting in his way and trying to talk to him.
Yep, that's
And he
also on
was-
my list, which was arguing with Namir and getting low-key cursed again.
Yeah. So
Idiot.
Namir, part of his revenge quest is that, or like something that was peculiar to the players is that he had a fiance, and he stopped caring about the fiance, of course, because he's a revenant, right? But he still cares about his brother, his fiance's brother, which is his best friend, and his quest, and that's pretty much it. And so when they were trying to convince this NPC, this revenant, this Namir, to see his best friend, because the best friend was a cleric of some sort, to help
And
him.
we needed to get the healing thing
Yeah.
because I was gonna die.
Yeah, Nico was going to die of disease, and they thought the best friend could help, which was clear he could. They had been working on a cure for the last 3 weeks by themselves. And Andras was almost dead from his own exhaustion as well. But Namir basically made each of the characters make a vow that they would do nothing to protect or do nothing to harm him, would do everything they could to protect him, and if Andras was ever hurt in their presence, they must swear on the silence. Or like, and basically in context that would be, if he ever gets hurt in your presence, you will never speak again. Or
Right.
never
least
speak
until
he
he's-
gets healed. Until he's
Yeah.
back to full health. So if he dies in your presence, you will be cursed to never speak again.
Which is not great for a druid who definitely has spells that he needs to speak for.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, Tommy was very insistent that he couldn't take an oath because of he's a warlock. He made a pact with the devil and didn't want to step on people's toes. The thing about this,
Which is
this
insane because he's
it's-
broken that pact like
he's
so many
broken his
times.
contract so many times and has made his fiend patron very angry. All right.
Yeah.
So what's one more? What's one more? Like, what are you gonna do? Smite me? Eventually. But
Maybe soon.
maybe soon. Well, he mouths off to Namir, and Namir was like this close to just punting him into the sun. Like it was.
Yeah.
And this is the warlock, so you're expecting them to be high charisma and things, but
See, he
Namir
is
was
high charisma.
not.
He's just also so annoying.
It's so dumb. And eventually Namir got tired of it and basically modified the curse that controls enemies to come, not controls, but influences his enemies, the enemies of his friends to come to them. Basically contingent on if Andras gets hurt in his presence, that curse will trigger and someone will get their enemy triggered to come towards them. Because how I work with the curses is that they're not constantly on, really, technically, only if you do something to re-trigger it. So, for example, Tommy's trigger is greed, primarily. Unfortunately, Tommy's very greedy.
So you can only imagine.
Yeah. So his curse is triggered, I think, 3 times so far.
God, that's horrifying to think about.
Because Doris died,
Yep.
Johann got eaten, and
Yeah.
then
The price of this curse
These
is high.
These
Yeah.
pieces of the moon need to fucking stay away from him. Like seriously.
Next it's gonna be like Morris. Imagine Morris having enemies though.
I mean,
Actually, if I'm
Morris.
gonna be completely honest, it's probably gonna be like Nico next.
Yeah. Oh no, that's true.
Because yikes. But so he's had his curse trigger 3 times. Which sucks for him. But
And everyone else.
yeah. Because the other one was actually the giant, by the way.
Oh, when I tried to fully fight him, yeah.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
that.
That giant or the one with the
the
where
one
we were
that
getting the
ate
bag?
the one that ate the frost giant.
Oh, wait, what triggered it
But
there?
So in it was a prior trigger that I needed to resolve. So
Oh.
there is Johann got eaten, the first trigger.
Yeah.
The second trigger, Doris died.
Yeah.
The third trigger is when the undead giant showed up the first time. So when the
Yeah.
fog, the same night that Doris died, he triggered his curse again a second time.
Yeah.
So, yikes. What else has he done?
Just so
I
many
mean, just
things.
gonna jump in for a second. Looking back through my text messages with Waz, and I'm not 100% sure he's showing up.
Okay.
I think maybe we probably call it at 10:30 and say the no game.
Oh, no game?
Yeah. No, not with Carl and him. No.
Okay. Should we play Wild Beyond the Witchlight then?
I'm up for anything.
I can yeah.
But we'll wait until 10:30. Give him time to.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Well, you guys can continue talking. I'm just gonna go see how my setup for that is.
Yeah.
As per.
Texts are open to interpretation, let's say. And I know he's in Austin with a bunch of business associates, so I can only imagine the condition they were written under.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've triggered my curse, but it doesn't fucking matter because my curse can't do anything to me until I go back to my home.
Mm-hmm.
My
And
curse is that I will die in my I will die defending my home or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Basically.
So like that's just me that's gonna affect.
We can actually look. It's in
Yeah, I know. I just didn't.
that takes effort. That takes effort. Nico's curse is you will die within the walls of your home in an attempt to defend it one last time.
Yeah.
That's even okay. That's definitely because you could defend your home from anywhere if somebody just said, "Hey, I'm going to leave here and go burn your home." But within the walls is pretty specific.
Yeah.
You will die within the walls of your home. Imagine you're like literally within the wall. You're literally in the wall. You're like, I'm sneaking.
Have you ever read a story called "The Cask of Amontillado"?
No, but I know what it is.
Yeah, it's a creepy
I've seen
one where
many.
somebody seals. He basically like totally. There's this guy he hates, and he goes to a multi-year effort to befriend him, and then lures him into his house and traps him in his basement, and then seals him into a wall. All the while he's saying, "What? What's going on? Why are you doing this? I don't understand. I thought we were friends." And it's like really disturbing.
There's some really good memes about it though.
Oh yeah.
There is, yeah. Oh god.
It's a classic for sure.
I'm deeply obsessed with the Spark Notes Twitter and Instagram accounts, so there's a lot of really fucking funny literary memes.
It's Edgar Allan Poe. That's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was weird as hell.
Now I have to find these memes.
Oh my god, they're fucking great.
Sorry, I'm looking back at that same session where he pissed off Namir, and that also includes, like I said, that was the highest concentration of fuck ups in one session. It was walking through an inn full of diseased dead people, then getting diseased promptly.
No, he was wasn't he already diseased because he picked up that fucking sword, or was that after?
It was after. He passed the saving throw on the first sword.
Okay.
Oh, just in case, you guys might want to update your fantasy grounds. Just in case we're going for that.
Shit. I forgot that that's what we needed for that.
I can't remember if I have that installed.
Oh gosh, I got a new laptop.
Oh,
I don't know.
I got a new computer too recently, so I'm like, I think I downloaded it.
Where do I go to get that?
I'll post the link.
Thank you.
Fantasy grounds.
I do have it downloaded. Let's
Okay.
just see if it updates. Okay, it's updating. I can't remember. So I know that Andros got hurt because there was like an explosion. Was that Tommy fucking blowing us up again? I can't remember.
No, that was Tommy pissing off Isha.
Right.
So it does all come back to Tommy on that one.
It
always
does.
Isha was the one that exploded. In like a shroud of necrotic. It was Shabaka, it's kind of like Shabaka's wolf, but not really. Not completely. It does have the ability to teleport and X and Y, but it has not really a racial thing, but if it gets hit with necrotic damage, it spawns a darkness spell, and it heals if it gets hit by necrotic damage as well. And Tommy, this wolf hadn't been violent yet. It was kind of curious and trying to figure out what the hell is happening, and it was an intelligent wolf trying to do its job. And Tommy firebolted him. He was the only one that could see because he was a warlock with the pact or the ability, and Tommy firebolted the wolf, and which then aggroed it. Yeah. Downloading.
Yep, same.
Accept terms. Next. Sure. Install.
Oh god, I can't remember. I know I did a voice for Ulysses. I do not remember it. Whatever.
It was like high and also
I think it was kind of like this.
It was that. It was exactly that.
Yeah.
It was
awesome,
exactly that
great.
voice.
It's the only voice I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Ouchie. Karma. I'm trying to think of. We all know which one's the worst one, but the most hectic one was the bat bug, in my opinion.
I think the most hectic one might have been right after when he put the rocks together.
True.
And we're all trying to fucking smash it with.
You're trying to. I remember the memes for that one. They were trying to break a rock with they didn't want to hit it with their weapons because they were non-magical weapons and the weapon could be damaged because it was a magical rock. And so they were literally kicking a rock to death. And then I'm like, someone cast a spell. I think it was Moonbeam on it. And then I was like, the rock has to make a con save.
Yeah, Tommy's the only one that, because Sherry and I didn't have spells. Shout out to Mason.
It was Ron. Because Ron kept throwing fire at it.
No, that was Mason. Mason kept throwing fire at it.
Right. Mason threw fire at it. Ron was the one that could cast Moonbeam, though.
I don't even remember Ron being there, I'm not gonna lie.
He showed up much later.
Yeah, he showed up later. At that point, we knew it was magic because Mason was throwing fire at it. But it was.
My count. Oh fuck. Oh, my count. Please click here to create one. Sure. I don't
I
remember.
know I've created one before.
But I don't know it.
My password manager has it because it was logged in on the website as well.
But I logged out and I cleared my cookies recently.
Ugh. License key. That I don't think I have.
How
Continue.
do I get into this game?
Good thing I have an Excel sheet with all my passwords that if someone knew the single password to enter this password sheet, I would be fucked. But
Yep. Keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I mean you gotta take your security where you can find it. Like there's just there's no good way to do it.
Ah.
Contextless. Yeah.
The fact that Tommy triggered 3 combats and the final combat that he triggered, you guys were all less than 10 HP.
Yeah.
Like they triggered 1 combat and it was a creature that could basically resummon itself after a short rest. So it was sending like a duplicate. It was a burbling. It was sending a duplicate of itself to fight, and then it would take a short rest and then send another duplicate. And the party didn't realize that this is what was happening until a little bit in. So they fought that, and then the party didn't take a short rest. So they started the second combat at lower health. And then that second combat really fucked them up really badly. And so every single player was less than 10 HP.
That's the one where I plummeted 40 feet after I killed the thing that was holding me.
This is
So
the one that Tommy reminds me of Leroy Jenkins.
Know what that
Leroy
means.
Jenkins.
From the World of Warcraft. They basically a bunch of people organizing a raid. And they're like all planning their tactics, and then one guy yells Leroy Jenkins and runs in and aggroes the boss, and then when nobody's ready and they all get killed. And
and he obviously just came
They all
back.
blame him. Yeah.
I was never going to expect you to say the words from World of Warcraft to end the sentence of who is Leroy Jenkins. Like that was baffling to me for a second.
It's a meme.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some say it may have been staged to be that way.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
That's my opinion on a lot of stuff. Like, my dad will be like, "Oh, well, this story is fake," and I'm like, "So it's funnier if it's real." We're fun that way.
I think it would be interesting if Tommy dies and then Morris just takes over his.
That would be worse. That would actually somehow be worse than Tommy.
Really?
Morris is not smart.
Yeah, because he's literally like 5 days old.
Yeah. I know.
So, more context. The necromantic candle that Tommy put his blood on has an ability to summon soul-like entities to people that do things with it, basically. And it summoned a vile and mischievous gas ball that partially Tommy, partially something else. Tommy's fucking up nature, but also he has no body and can make people diseased and possess them sometimes. Morris, however, can be tempted with very simple things because he's literally like the mentality of maybe a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old at best, with the knowledge of the ancients, because he can consume people's memories when he possesses them. He doesn't steal them per se, but he sees them and he understands their knowledge. Well, he retains their knowledge. He does not understand their knowledge.
Yeah, understand is such a generous description.
So like there are people out there that he doesn't understand math is the majority of his bit. He doesn't understand math, but while he's mischievous and a little bit evil in some ways, he's not an evil character per se, but
he's not
neutral
even
at the
that
very least.
evil, honestly.
He's not
kind of
evil,
chill.
but
Just
he's
bad
like a
things happen when
5-year-old.
he's around. Yeah.
He's tempted by simple things. Like he just wants tea and soup.
Yeah, he does he just wants hot water.
He wants hot water. They figured out that he doesn't actually want tea. What he wants is hot. He wants something hot.
I mean, we knew that. I'm still gonna put the tea in though, because it's I don't know. I feel like it's nice.
It is very nice. But so he'll do and say certain things, but if you tell him no, more often than not he'll agree as long as you give him a reason to. Which is far different from Tommy, who's very strong-headed or strong brain cells. Donkey. He's an ass. I don't know. Stubborn. He's very stubborn about the choices he makes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The frost giant. You should explain the frost giant.
So we found this frost giant body, and we know had been taken over by this. I don't know. I don't actually know how to explain it because I don't really get it. But anyway, it's a whole thing. But we found this frost giant body, and it was me, Tommy, and Shuri, and our druid wasn't there. So we were like, okay, we need the druid to come because he's gonna understand this more than we are. So, and Tommy was like, I want to loot the body. We were like, dude, we don't know what'll happen. We don't know if there's a curse on it or if it's gonna wake up and try and kill us. Chill. He absolutely fucking wouldn't. And I tried to fully fight him, but my rolls were just so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Ruling against players is that's a level of frustration.
I mean, I wasn't gonna actually hurt him. It was more of a just grapple was what I was trying to do. Did not work. He's also hard to grapple, to be fair.
Yeah. I have given the character or probably the player as well, mild PTSD when it concerns being swallowed by things.
Yeah, he got eaten by a frog.
He got eaten by a frog. And so he invested in the feat, nimble something, the halfling feat, nimble escape or something like that, which gives him advantage on all grapple checks, on to avoid being grappled. So when Nico tried to grab him, Tommy could not be grabbed. Absolutely not.
I also rolled really bad. Because he should be good at grappling, and he usually is, but
he was. But Tommy was too squirrely.
I rolled bad, and Tommy had the shit that made it easier for him to get out.
Being a halfling and not being able to roll ones, because Tommy actually gets far more nat ones than almost every other player. I was gonna say
he rolls so many fucking nat ones. It's crazy. Oh. He's so lucky that he can't get nat ones.
That's probably why he chose the race.
Fucking probably.
Getting his money's worth out of that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
he is.
So every time I see that nat one, I'm like, oh my gosh, he got a nat one, and then I realize, oh, he got a nat one.
Another one. Yeah.
Whenever I see a nat 2, that's when I get excited.
That's when we feel dread.
Tommy has done a couple good things. Not everything's bad in Tommy land.
No, I mean, I'll stand by the fact that him triggering the second combat of that night was good.
But still, when he did it wasn't.
Well, no, but you said that if we hadn't done it, they would have just kept coming back.
Well, it's true, but you could have gotten a little short rest in, potentially.
That's true, but I mean, we didn't know that there was anything else.
True.
I think that one was bad. That one, I'll stand by that one.
How he triggered it was bad.
Terrible. Okay, well, yeah, that was rough.
The fact that he did trigger it was good. The fact that how he did it was bad.
Oh, Jack.
He went alone in the woods.
Well, no, he went with Jack.
Well, the thing is, I knew it was in the woods.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, do I
We
want this to be the
refused
end
to
of his
go with
character?
him.
Do I want this to be the end of his character? Because if he goes alone, he's gonna die. Absolutely. He'll be ganged up by like 3 monsters. Action economy won't be in his favor, and he'll die, especially with like a 30 HP. And so, being the one that knew what was in the woods, I was like, hey, how about I send this NPC with you? Because no one wanted to,
Very
no one
generous.
believed him. I was like, please.
Yeah, we were all like, no, go fuck yourself. We're not going out.
Yeah, Nico and Shuri did not want to go with him, and the
Kithis
druid
hates
wasn't
him,
there.
so.
Yeah, Kithis hates him. And so I sent a rogue NPC, which the only reason that Jack even lived was because he was a rogue. But Jack and Tommy roll up to this freaking forest. They are searching actively, so they're rolling perception checks against not. It wasn't stealthing. It was just kind of chilling in a tree, waiting. So it wasn't like it didn't think that they would come out there. So it was just kind of chilling right there. Tommy, despite the fact that he's actively looking, doesn't see it. He rolls really horribly for perception checks, and given that the forest is a really dense forest, it might stand to reason he just didn't notice. Jack, of course, does notice, and warns Tommy and takes the first hit. And when I rolled it, it was a nat 20. It was a crit. And how I do crits in my campaign is crunchy crits. So max damage, and then you roll.
Ooh. That's
So,
dangerous.
yeah, so it's wonderful when the players get nat 20s because they get so much HP and damage. But when the players get crit, it's oh my gosh.
Or when our sweet little NPCs get crit.
When your sweet little NPCs get crit. Jack ended up taking a cumulative of 58 damage
in
really one bad. Attack out of 63 HP.
Sweetheart.
So should we consider Wazubi not appearing in this film?
I think so, yep.